very good reason for not turning up.
Yeah, like being too ashamed to get up in open court and say how we let that poor woman die.
He's the victim in this case, remember?
Tell that to her husband and kid. Dr. Woodside! Dr. Woodside! You're supposed to be in court.
I'll try ringing him again. He might have been called out on an emergency.
Never been a priority before.
Hey, Joe. Check this out. So, you going to go through or am I?
Do you want to?
What's the name?
Dr. Woodside?
Joe.
Dr. Woodside, I presume.
Time of death sometime this morning. Small caliber weapon. Probably a .22.
Bird gone wrong?
An offender breaks in looking for drugs, gets into the cabinet. Doctor springs him.
And blows his slipper off.
Any luck?
Oh, we searched. No sign of a weapon.
Forced entry?
There's prints all over that window, but they could just as easily be his, mine.
And he was supposed to attend court this morning.
Yeah, didn't show.
What did he do?
He was the victim. His car had been vandalised.
We pushed on with the prosecution. He wasn't that keen.
Dad!
Dad! You'd better come with me. No,
Well,
you can't go in there. We haven't finished working on.
Dr. Woodside's daughter. She helps out here.
This wasn't a burglary. This was McAllister.
Ron McAllister vandalised the doctor's car.
Has he made any further threats?
No, but he hasn't forgotten or forgiven.
Mr. McAllister sued the doctor for malpractice a couple of months ago.
Unsuccessfully. Oh, stupid music. Do you mind if I...
Yeah, of course.
Margaret McAllister was a hypochondriac, but Dad always spoke to her when she rang. The one time that he couldn't make it out there for a house call. The one time she was actually sick.
18 months ago, his wife had a heart attack. She rang Dr. Woodside. He said it was just heartburn and not to worry.
She was in her 30s. He wouldn't have expected heart problems.
Yeah, well, he didn't bother to find out, did he?
You say McAllister sued.
The court cleared the doc of any wrongdoing, but the night after the finding, McAllister puts a brick through the windscreen of the doc's car.
But he was still grieving for his wife. They'd just had a baby. Who wouldn't be upset?
Upset enough to shoot Dr. Woodside?
Maybe I could buy it if he'd done it back then, but why wait 6 months if this was a revenge killing?
Put your money on revenge every time.
Far more likely to be a bird gone wrong, someone looking for drugs or money.
Bring McAllister in.
Give the guy a break, he's been through enough.
Just do it, Parrish.
Something bothering you?
I didn't sleep well last night. Yeah, I'm late.
How many days?
I don't know, 7, 8 maybe. Trying not to think about it. But I haven't told Pete yet, so don't say anything. Just want to wait.
Well, don't wait too long.
Go around the block.
Hey, Joe, what about McAllister?
Catch him!
What's he done, mate?
He's ripped me off, the little mongrel!
Let's not do the chasing thing, mate. I'm a bit fitter than the guy around the corner. It's barbed wire, buddy.
He's lying. I never stole nothing.
Well, you got nothing to hide.
Why would I want to nick anything from a stupid car shop anyway?
What's your name?
I don't have to tell you anything.
Well, we can just haul you down the station, figure it out there. Takes a lot longer.
I didn't take anything.
It's in your pockets. Junior mechanic.
It's just some spark plugs. No big deal.
Other pocket?
It's mine.
Driver's license. And that would make you Rowena DeLuca.
It's my mum. She might be sleeping. She's just a little bit sick.
Okay. Ms. DeLuca?
Aunt,
Yeah.
what's happened? Are you okay?
Yeah, he's all right.
What do you want?
Your son was caught shoplifting, I'm afraid.
Oh, Anton's a good boy. He'd never do that.
Yeah, he stole these.
I gave you money.
For milk and bread, I wanted to fix a car for you.
I thought we agreed I'd deal with that after my next payment. I reckon it's going to take more than a couple of spark plugs to fix that piece of junk.
You guys live here, do you?
Yeah, we've been visiting family the last couple of weeks. We're going to head back to Melbourne today, but looks like we're stuck on holidays. He's never done anything like this before. I mean, things have been a bit tight lately, but he's a really good kid. Hun, I know you're just trying to help, but you shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, well, you know, the mechanic may still want to press charges, so...
I think we might be prepared to let him off with a caution this time. But we better not catch you doing anything like this again, right?
Yeah, okay.
This is apparently yours. Oh, see you later. Kid's life's tough enough already, don't you think?
I should have stayed on him myself. I was that close to catching the little maggot.
Well, he dropped these, so there's really nothing more we can do.
Great.
So, what do you plan to do now? Falsify the running sheet?
Won't have to falsify it. Just won't write it up.
Oh, yes, Tracy. It's Constable Jones from Mount Thomas Police.
We're about to send out air wings.
Yeah, sorry about that. It took a while to track him down. So.
Track me down. We've been sitting at home all night.
Yeah, my fault. Wrong turner. Meant to go out the back way. Missed the turn.
Mr. McAllister, come on through.
No, I wanted justice, not revenge.
Is that why you trashed the doctor's car when your malpractice case went nowhere?
Smashing up his car was stupid. See, Margaret and I, we didn't think we could have children. We'd been trying for so long. I'd never been so happy the day that Lisa was born. She was everything. He was Margaret's doctor. He was supposed to take her seriously.
So you paid the doctor a visit to make sure he wouldn't make the same mistake again. The doctor was shot dead this morning.
What?
You're telling me you had nothing to do with it?
She's lost her mother already. If I go to jail, she'll lose me too.
Where were you this morning, Mr. McAllister?
The courthouse, waiting for him to show up.
And before that?
At home.
And did you drive directly to the courthouse?
No, I went for a drive just to, calm myself down.
Where'd you drive from?
I went up to Ketcher's Gorge. I needed to clear my head.
Dr. Woodside had already killed your wife, and now you thought he might send you to jail.
No.
So I put it to you, you went over there to stop that from happening. And you shot him through the head.
Ron, you got motive, you got opportunity, you got no alibi.
Where's the gun?
I don't own a gun.
Where's the gun, Ron? Someone in here to see you when you've got a moment?
I've been going through Dad's things, like you asked, his papers, and I came across his petty cash tin. Dad was always pretty good with it, never let it run down. The thing is, he usually kept $500 in it, but it's empty.
Where did your father keep the tin?
In the top drawer of his filing cabinet.
That hadn't been disturbed this morning, had it?
No, it was locked, same as always. Dad keeps the key in the top drawer of his desk.
So, could one of his patients have known where he kept the tin?
I'm not sure. I've been ringing round to to all his patients and Dad's friends and family, letting them know what's happened. And when I rang my sister in Melbourne, one of our housemates told me that she wasn't there, that she's been in Mount Thomas for at least 2 weeks.
She hasn't been in contact with you?
Oh, my sister and I don't get on.
Right. Is it possible that she might have had contact with your father?
Dad would have told me if she had.
Are you suggesting that she might have had something to do with your father's death?
Dad's kept his petty cash in that filing cabinet since my sister and I were kids. Ray used to steal from it when she'd run out of pocket money.
Your sister would kill your father for $500.
I don't think I'd put anything past her anymore. Ro's a heroin addict. She has been for years now. She's got a little boy. It's terrible, really.
Ro.
Yeah, Rowena.
Rowena Woodside.
No, she goes by her married name.
Which is?
DeLuca.
What's happened now?
Rowena DeLuca?
Yeah.
We have a warrant to search your van.
There's nothing here. I'm clean.
Glad to hear it. I'm not searching for drugs.
What are you searching for then?
We've had a report.
Evidence that connects you to your father's death.
Dead?
You didn't know?
When? How?
Is this yours?
It looks like about $500.
Leave Mum alone. She didn't do anything.
What makes you think I'd even be capable of... It was Gillian, wasn't it?
Tell them to leave her alone. She didn't take the money.
Here we go. It's okay.
No, it was me.
Hun, don't.
I stole the money from Grandad.
Baby, what are you doing? Don't you listen to a word he says.
You don't need to cover for him, eh?
I stole the money. It's true. I steal stuff all the time. Just ask them.
Them?
They picked me up for shoplifting this morning. Said they were going to let me off.
What was I supposed to do? Haul him in here over $5 worth of spark plugs?
That's what you're obliged to do.
He's 11 years old.
And you thought you'd do him a favour.
Him and his mum are doing it tough.
And all the time, his mother may have had information about Dr. Woodside's death.
Well, we didn't know that.
You would have soon found out if you'd done things the way you're supposed to.
Maybe.
No maybe about
Boss, the kid just wanted to fix his mum's car.
it. I've come to expect this sort of thing from her.
Oh, great.
But I still expect better from you.
I was just
Boss,
trying to...
No, you're absolutely right. It won't happen again.
Good.
Whatever happened to discretion?
It's an indictable offence. You don't have any. You should put yourself out of your misery and go buy a test.
But we're too busy right now. Just have to boss at me again.
No, it will take a couple of minutes. You feel much better once you know one way or the other.
I'm not sure I want to know. You know, you just...
Want to know what?
Nothing.
Can one of you look after Rowena? I need to have a word with Paul.
Okay. The station's non-smoking.
Well, you can add it to my list of charges.
Put it out.
When can I get out of here?
When the detectives have finished with you and Anton, they're waiting for a social worker.
Just what I need in my life, another social worker.
One needs to be here while they interview Anton.
Great.
You know you're in serious trouble, and Anton could be as well.
Told you he's lying about the money. He's doing it to try and help me.
Yeah, seems to do that quite a bit.
Don't you judge me. You know nothing about us.
Well, I know he spends a lot of time worrying about you. A lot more than any 11-year-old should have to.
I love my boy. You wouldn't know what that's like. I bet you don't even have kids. Nah, I didn't think so. I don't own a gun. I told you already.
Then tell us again.
I know you think I'm some pathetic junkie. But I'm telling you, you can't honestly believe I'd shoot my own dad for $500.
I don't know. Where were you this morning between 7 and 9:30?
The caravan park asleep. You're as bad as my sister. Look, I haven't touched the stuff for nearly a month.
So, why was your father so desperate to give you $500?
I'd bugged him for loans a lot in the past, but I don't do that anymore. I tried to tell him that We're okay, but he insisted.
Is that why you had the $500 in a sock?
Me and Anton were saving for a deposit for a house. We reckoned if it was out of sight, we'd be less tempted to blow it.
So, Anton, when did you take the money?
This morning, I went over to Grandad's before Mum woke up. I thought he would have already left for his court thing.
Was he alive when you saw him? Then what did you do?
I waited until he was in the kitchen. Then I went into his office.
And where was the money?
In a tin, in the top drawer of his filing cabinet. I took it all and then I ran.
Did you need a key? To open the filing cabinet?
I can't remember.
Why did you steal the spark plugs this morning if you had so much money?
We need a lot of it. Mum says she's going to take me to Disneyland. I stole the money from Grandad. Mum was asleep the whole time.
Vicky?
Go away.
I hadn't told anyone about the shoplifting, you know.
Is Mum still in trouble?
Look, if your mum hasn't done anything wrong, then she's really got nothing to worry about.
She's not just some loser, like you think.
I never said she was a loser. Lying for people, even if it's to protect them, sometimes it just creates more trouble.
You got in trouble from your boss for lying about me.
Yeah, he made me a promise not to do it again.
What if I promise that Mum didn't kill Grandad?
Thank you. We may need to speak to you again.
Great. Come on, hun.
Hey. Chocolate macadamia. Come on. Who knows what's going on?
Joe, the kid's going to say anything to get his mum off the hook.
That doesn't mean Rowena killed her father.
A strung-out junkie is pretty much capable of anything.
Well, she says she's clean now.
So why would the kid lie if his mother's got nothing to worry about?
There's no physical or circumstantial evidence to put Rowena at the scene. We should talk to Ron McAllister again.
What? The guy who couldn't possibly have done it?
Yeah, well, I've changed my mind.
Short of finding the gun, we got nothing on him.
Well, what about the doctor's patients? We haven't talked to all of them yet.
Did your father have any other disgruntled patients? Anybody else that stands out?
Just Ron McAllister. Dad never had any trouble with anybody else. Did you question my sister?
I have spoken to her and her son. The investigation is still open at this stage.
What about Jenny Gordon? Her name's crossed out here.
Oh, she moved to St David's last month. That's just to remind me to take her off the mailing list.
Your father must have given out his fair share of bad news. Any results come through recently that might have led to someone lashing out at him?
I don't know.
What's that?
Nothing. The pathologists have just sent through the wrong report.
Who for?
Oh, they keep sending blood test results for a Nathan Wu, but it's a mistake. Dad didn't even have a patient by that name.
Well, the pathologist says there's no mistake. Dr. Woodside's signature is on those tests for Nathan Wu.
There was a Harry Wu lived here once. He moved to Widgery.
There's no Woos listed in St David's either.
So we've got a potential suspect who doesn't in fact exist.
Well, it could just be a screw-up, like Gillian said.
Check the listings for Everly just in case.
On our way. Caravan park.
How am I supposed to get that?
We'll call into a chemist on the way back. All right, ladies, what's going on?
You all right, mate? She reckons Mum stole a watch, but she didn't.
Not just a watch, my father's Rolex.
Our father, Gillian, our father. I was his daughter too.
How could you do it? I mean, I knew you were capable of some terrible things.
I gave him his watch and I didn't kill him either.
Do you know where the watch is, Mr. Luca?
What are you
taking her side for?
No.
Why don't you just search the caravan?
I don't have it.
Yeah, because you've sold it already.
Is it possible there's some mistake about the watch?
I've searched high and low for it. Where else could it be?
Well, he could have misplaced it.
Dad's always let her get away with things, no matter what she did to him, what she put him through. Now she just wants to make a grab for whatever's left.
I understand how difficult this is for you, Miss Woodside, but... Well, isn't it possible that your sister's grieving for your father as well?
My sister's incapable of truthful emotion.
Don't you think you should at least speak to her? There's absolutely no listing for Nathan Wu. You sure he exists?
Look below that.
Wood. What?
No.
Yeah, Woodside.
Nathan Wu.
Nathan Wu is Jonathan Woodside.
The doctor was sending his own blood in for testing under another name. What's the matter with him?
Leukemia. The test was a full blood examination showing progressive leukemia. And he wasn't going to recover.
Oh, he was sick and didn't want anyone else to find out.
If we're talking suicide, where's the weapon?
Maybe he had help.
Dad would have told me if he was sick.
He didn't want you to know.
Well, you knew.
Yeah, he told us a few weeks ago. That's why me and Aunt came up to visit.
He knew he was terminally ill.
How did he react? Was he depressed?
Well, I think I'd be a better judge of that. And no, he was not depressed.
Dad watched Mum die. We all did.
I don't remember you watching much at all, actually, Rowena. You were too busy putting a needle up your arm.
Dad knew what you went through when Mum died. He didn't want you to know because he didn't want to be a burden to you, Gillian.
So he unburdens himself to you, who's been such a great help to him all his life. Are you going to let her keep telling these lies? My father didn't have leukemia. He was murdered.
Stop saying that.
Is there any possibility that your father took his own life?
No,
It's
I told you
possible.
Dad would never do that.
He asked us to come to Mount Thomas. I think he was planning this.
No, that is a lie.
Did your father actually own a firearm?
No, never. Anyway, if he had a gun, where is it? You didn't find one.
We're working on the theory that he might have had assistance.
Well, don't look at me.
You did say he might have been planning something like this.
What's going on in there? I want to be with Mum.
They just need to have a private word about your granddad.
What about?
I can't really go into all that, mate. It's up to your mum to tell you.
You don't have to treat me like a little kid. Let me in on it, please. Granddad didn't kill himself.
Parish.
It was you. I saw you. You shot him. I went to visit Granddad first thing.
Why so early?
I always did. I had to get there before Auntie Gillian.
Why was that?
Because she hates us.
So you got to the house.
But I never went in. I could hear from outside that they were shouting.
Who was that?
Grandad and Auntie Gillian.
What time is this?
Don't ever watch.
Could you hear what they were arguing about?
I went around to the window to look. But that's when the gun went off.
What gun?
The one she had.
So you were looking in the window at this point. Now it's very hot.
No, I was trying to get to it.
How'd you know it was a gun?
Well, it was this really loud bang, so I just thought, like, it was a gun. I tried to see in.
And when you could see and you saw who fired the shot?
Auntie Gillian had it in her hands.
Anton, listen to me. What you're saying is very serious. You have to be certain.
I am. I'm not lying.
What sort of gun was it?
A rifle.
Were you over at your father's yesterday morning?
Yes, he needed help getting ready for court. You have to understand, my dad isn't young. Wasn't. Sorry.
Did you argue?
Well, we often bickered about things. That's the way we were.
Oh, no, the question was, did you have an argument this particular morning?
Yes.
Well?
Stupid. It was about an insurance policy he'd taken out.
What sort of policy?
Life insurance. He'd taken it out about a year ago, And he hadn't told me about it. I was peeved, I suppose, because he never kept anything from me before, and I couldn't understand why he concealed this.
And how much was the policy for?
500,000.
And the beneficiary?
The money was to be split 3 ways. Me, Anton and Ro.
And you didn't like the idea of sharing?
No, it's not like that.
Well, we'll have a look at that policy, if you don't mind.
I suppose it'll make your job easier if you can say I'm greedy and grasping, and God knows Anton deserves all the money he can get. He had scurvy when he was 6. I mean, how often do you hear about that in this day and age? And here's Dad wanting to give her 1/3 of that insurance money.
And how did the argument end?
I stormed out. Left him standing there. I can still see the look on his face. So sad. And I knew I'd caused it. And that was the last time I ever saw him.
Well, Anton was right about the argument.
Which only proves he saw Gillian at the house. It doesn't prove she killed her father.
I still like the junkie for it.
Well, not all junkies are murderers. What about the suicide theory? I mean, we can't rule that out yet.
We can't prove it either.
Well, both sisters stand to gain from that insurance policy. Anton, too, for that matter.
Oh, you can't be serious.
He has to be an outside possibility. I mean, you don't believe that story about his aunt, do you?
Well, why not? She's put her life on hold to look after her father. In comes prodigal daughter. I mean, I can understand her lashing out.
Lashing out, certainly, but killing him?
She'd be more likely to take it out on her sister than her father, wouldn't she?
Sorry, boss. Just heard from forensic. There was no sign of gunshot residue on the doctor's hands.
Which means that we're definitely looking at a murder, not suicide.
So do we talk to them again?
We haven't got enough evidence to hold them. What we need to do is to find the weapon that killed him.
Anton? If your Aunt Gillian gets done for murder, she'll go to jail. You know that, don't you? Terrible to send someone to jail for something they didn't do. Is she mean to you, your Aunt Gillian?
She's mean to Mum.
Not to you, though.
I'll blame Mum.
You mean if they stop blaming Gillian, they'll start blaming your mum, yeah?
They will. Mum gets blamed for everything because she's a user. But she's getting better. No one believes her, but she's really trying this time.
So your mum didn't kill your grandfather? Neither did your Aunt Gillian, right? But you know who did, huh? Gillian Woodside didn't shoot her father, I'm certain of it.
So the kid's saying it to cover for his mum?
No, Rowena didn't do it either. I don't think he knows who it was. Yeah, Paige, sugar.
Oh, sorry. Well, why would he make it up?
Because he's smart enough to know that his mum will be blamed if we don't have another suspect, and he's desperate to keep his family together. Him and his mum. That's all he wants. Paige, I really need to talk to you about something.
Sure.
It's...
Hey, a woman matching Rowena DeLuca's description just left Benny Danders. She tried to flog him a Rolex.
You promised you wouldn't tell!
I didn't. We're here to see your mum.
This is all your fault. She would have been okay if you just left her alone.
But why? Where is she?
She took off as soon as you drove away.
What, on foot?
No, the old bomb started up.
Well, we know she tried to sell the watch.
She couldn't have. I should have hidden it better. It's not fair.
You had the watch.
Grandad gave it to me. He said to sell it if I needed some money. Mum didn't know, but I guess she found out.
Do you know where she might be now?
No.
Come on, mate, we want to help her.
She's gone to school.
Do you know where?
He's told you more than you've told me, all right?
I told you what he said.
There's more to it.
Oh, you're a mind reader now, are you?
What is the matter with you?
I think I'm pregnant.
You what?
Hey, watch the road. Hey, there. What do you think you're doing?
I'm just going for a walk. What?
Look at you.
Get off me. I haven't done anything.
Anton's back at the caravan. He's alone and worried.
He's a fantastic kid, isn't he?
Come on.
No, no, no. No. Isn't my baby fantastic? He's beautiful.
Well, maybe she will get it together this time.
She's still high, Joe. She'll say anything.
People do get off the stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of people keep using until it kills them. Look, just forget about that. I want to know what's going on.
Forget I even mentioned Paige. I'm not even sure I am yet.
It's not my fault the woman's a junkie.
Just forget about it.
Okay, so let's get back to the other thing.
What?
Oh, don't go getting like that. It's not fair, Joe. Look, you tell me you're pregnant, okay? You just chuck it at me, and I'm supposed to go, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, why would I expect any kind of decent response from you?
Where did that come from?
Vigo, see to Mount Thomas, 509.
509 receiving.
Message from Detective Sergeant Paul Donald, attendant 39 Crimea Street.
Oh, no way.
Joe, I want to talk about...
Just, we got a job. Drive.
This guy's been on holidays for the last week, so his bins didn't go out. He got back, was unloading the car with rubbish. Found that.
22.
I'm right around the corner from the docks place.
How long is this going to go on for?
I don't know.
We need to talk about it.
I don't know how I feel about all this. It's just...
Well, neither do I. But we need to think about this. Work it out together.
Yeah, I know.
Get any prints off that rifle, PJ?
No.
All that means is the shooter had time to wipe it down.
Forensics might be able to lift something, I suppose.
There was the firearms registry. That rifle belongs to an Edna McAllister.
Okay, so Mum had a rifle. That doesn't make me a murderer.
So why didn't you mention this before?
Well, you didn't ask.
Well, don't get smart, Mr. McAllister. They're off testing the rifle now. What are they going to find?
I've got nothing to worry about.
If your fingerprints are all over it, I'd say you do.
You've got to believe me, I haven't seen that gun for over a year. It was January the 21st. The day Margaret died. I went round to Woodside's place. I probably wasn't thinking straight.
And you took the gun with you? Why?
Come on, Mr. McAllister.
I don't know why. I just wanted to hurt him. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I wanted him dead.
Oh, you wanted
He
him
killed
dead.
my wife! My fingerprints are going to be all over the thing. I waved it in his face. Told him he'd wrecked my life.
What happened?
He just kept talking. He kept saying he was sorry. In the end, I gave him the gun and I went home.
So you went home, waited 6 months until you were good and mad enough to go through with it. Is that what happened?
No!
Senior Detective, I need a word. Now.
Interview suspended at 10:05 so that Senior Constable Parrish can have a word with Senior Detective Hasham.
It wasn't Ron.
Okay, what makes you so sure?
Anton told me his grandfather shot himself. Anton hid the weapon. He said he found his grandfather on the floor, he took the gun, wiped the prints off it and threw it in some wheelie bin. It was suicide, PJ. We can't let Ron McAllister go down for this.
Are you telling me that this kid wiped his dead grandfather's hands as well?
Oh, he must have.
And you've had all this information, Joe?
Look, he knew about the insurance policy. His grandfather had let him read it at some stage. He knew if it was suicide, there wouldn't be a payout.
And you believe this?
Absolutely.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because it's not fair, PJ. This kid needs help, you know. I thought if I look the other way, he might really have a chance.
I know. Money isn't going to help that kid. He needs more than that.
Look, let's just tell him and get it over with.
No. You do that, your career will be cactus. Leave it to me.
You sorted yourself out? Can we resume now?
Yeah, but I've got the feeling that we're heading in the wrong direction. I think we should still be looking at suicide.
We've been down that road. It was ruled out. There was no gunshot residue on his hands.
But what if he didn't use his hands?
How did he pull the trigger?
With his foot. His slipper was off when we found him.
I'll get on to forensics.
Still, none of this accounts for what happened to the rifle afterwards.
Oh, we got a pretty good idea.
She's sleeping.
But it's okay, Anton. It's you we want to speak to.
You dobbed.
No.
You bloody dobbed! Dobber! Bloody dobber!
Just take it easy.
Auntie Gillian was yelling at Grandad. So I hid and waited until she left. She was driving up the street and that's when I heard the gun go off. I ran inside and saw him. There was blood everywhere. I went to ring the ambulance, but he wasn't moving.
Your grandfather died right away, Anton. There's nothing you could have done for him. Then what happened?
I took the gun and I hid it.
Why?
I didn't want them to know.
Them?
The insurance company. Grandad said we'd get a whole heap of money, enough to buy a house, and there'd be enough left over for Disneyland.
So you knew all about the insurance policy?
He let me read it once.
But your grandfather didn't read it properly, did he? He bought a policy that paid out on suicide only after 13 months.
He didn't wait long enough. I had to do it, Mum.
Are you happy with the treatment that you've received here today?
Yes, just say yes.
Yes.
You do understand that you've been officially cautioned. Because of your age, we're not going to charge you with false report. But if I see you in here again for any reason, shoplifting or anything else, I won't be so lenient. Do you understand? Parrish, could you drive them home, please?
No, it's okay. I'll take them to.
It was exceptional police work today. Suggesting that he used his foot to pull the trigger. Was that your idea or PJ's?
PJ's.
And what made you suspect the boy?
Oh, just a feeling, really.
You realise what he did for you, don't you? Apart from the lion, that's bad enough, but he's an 11-year-old kid. He should be playing footy, doing his maths homework.
I know what he is.
No, you need to hear this. He found his grandfather in a pool of blood. Your dad. He took the weapon and he wiped off the prints. Made it look like it was an intruder.
I know what happened.
And he did it all for you. Has anyone ever done that much for you? Risked that much for you? So he deserves a whole lot more.
I know that.
But you can't give it to him the way that you are, can you?
I said I'd get clean.
This time you have to mean it.
What are we doing here?
Anne?
What are we doing?
I'm going to stay with your Auntie Gillian for a little while.
No, I don't want to. Why?
I've got to get my act together, mate.
But I have to be with you.
Just for a little while.
Mum!
I'll take you down to visit her on weekends, darling. It's going to be okay.
No, I don't want to. I want to stay with Mum.
No, Anton, you're staying with your Auntie Gillian. I'm going somewhere where I can get clean.
Just let me be with you. You can't do it without me.
Yes, I can.
Mum, please.
Bugger off, Anton. I don't want you, okay? I'm all right. I'm all right. God's sake, get me out of here.
Mum, come back. No, just come back. Please, come back. Come back, please. Just come back. Mum, come back. Come back, Mum. Just come back.
Just can't get his face out of my head, thinking his mum didn't want him.
Well, he's a smart kid. Give him time. He'll understand why she had to go.
You two need to go and debrief.
Would you mind if we did that in the morning? You'd probably be better off getting home.
Understood. You both did very well today.
Right. Well, we should get on home, get some takeaway, have a nice bath. We'll have that talk.
No need to anymore. False alarm. Yeah. Just found out before.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good reason for not turning up.
Yeah, like being too ashamed to get up in open court and say how we let that poor woman die.
He's the victim in this case, remember?
Tell that to her husband and kid.
Dr. Woodside! Dr. Woodside! You're supposed to be in court.
I'll try ringing him again. He might have been called out on an emergency.
Never been a priority before.
Hey, Joe. Check this out. So, you going to go through, or am I?
Do you want to?
What's the name?
Dr. Woodside?
Joe.
Dr. Woodside, I presume.
Time of death sometime this morning. Small caliber weapon. Probably a .22.
Bird gone wrong?
Offender breaks in looking for drugs, gets into the cabinet. Doctor springs him.
And blows his slipper off.
Any luck?
Oh, we searched. No sign of a weapon.
Forced entry?
There's prints all over that window, but they could just as easily be his, mine.
And he was supposed to attend court this morning.
Yeah, didn't show.
What did he do?
He was the victim. His car had been vandalised.
We pushed on with the prosecution. He wasn't that keen.
Dad! Dad!
Dad! You'd better come with me. No,
Well, let
you
me
can't
see
go
him.
in there. We haven't finished working on.
Dr. Woodside's daughter. She helps out here.
This wasn't a burglary. This was McAllister.
Ron McAllister vandalised the doctor's car.
Has he made any further threats?
No, but he hasn't forgotten or forgiven.
Mr. McAllister sued the doctor for malpractice a couple of months ago.
Unsuccessfully. Oh, stupid music. Do you mind if I...
Yeah, of course.
Margaret McAllister was a hypochondriac, but Dad always spoke to her when she rang. The one time that he couldn't make it out there for a house call. The one time she was actually sick.
18 months ago, his wife had a heart attack. She rang Dr. Woodside. He said it was just heartburn and not to worry.
She was in her 30s. He wouldn't have expected heart problems.
Yeah, well, he didn't bother to find out, did he?
You say McAllister sued.
The court cleared the dock of any wrongdoing, but the night after the finding, McAllister puts a brick through the windscreen of the doc's car.
But he was still grieving for his wife. They'd just had a baby. Who wouldn't be upset?
Upset enough to shoot Dr. Woodside?
Maybe I could buy it if he'd done it back then, but why wait 6 months if this was a revenge killing?
Put your money on revenge every time.
Far more likely to be a bird gone wrong, someone looking for drugs or money.
Bring McAllister in.
Give the guy a break, he's been through enough.
Just do it, Parrish.
Something bothering you?
I didn't sleep well last night. I'm late.
How many days?
I don't know, 7, 8 maybe. Trying not to think about it. But I haven't told Pete yet, so don't say anything. Just want to wait.
Well, don't wait too long.
Go around the block.
Hey, Joe, what about McAllister?